Once upon a time, in a world where magic and mythical creatures roamed freely, there was a fearless protagonist. He possessed incredible power and skill, known far and wide for his fierce determination. But on this particular day, he found himself in a foul mood, angered by a dragon soaring through the sky above him. His frustration boiled over as one of the dragons swooped down, launching a spell towards him. Undeterred, Armek named Lucifer smirked and declared it would be nothing more than a warm-up before he took on that wretched spawn of Satan. Drawing his sword, he leaped towards the attacking dragons as they descended upon him. To even the odds, Lucifer ascended higher into the sky, determined to reach the dragon he had his eyes on. The dragon opened its mouth, ready to unleash a devastating attack, but Lucifer merely smiled, skillfully dodging its onslaught. In a single swift strike, he decapitated the beast, sending its lifeless body crashing to the ground. With a hint of pride, Lucifer taunted the fallen dragon, proclaiming its defeat in a one-on-one battle. However, the battle was far from over. The remaining dragons, witnessing their companion's demise, bared their fangs and prepared to unleash their fury upon Lucifer. Realizing that their numbers were overwhelming, Lucifer boldly declared that he would give it his all. Summoning every ounce of his power, he channeled it into his hand, releasing a torrent of energy into the heavens. In a spectacular display, a colossal crystal sword materialized, pointing towards the monstrous dragons. With a single word, Apocalypse, Lucifer activated the sword, which swiftly and relentlessly struck down each and every dragon, reducing them to ash. As the dust settled, Lucifer descended to the ground, his eyes fixed on a massive door that had opened before him. From its depths emerged a figure, the one he had been waiting for, the infamous Satan himself. Lucifer wasted no time in demanding that Satan kneel before him, flanked by his loyal comrades. Fueled by his determination, he charged towards Satan, urging his comrades to follow him. Yet, to his shock and disbelief, Lucifer felt a searing pain in his back. He turned to see his comrade Michael, who wore a twisted smile and thrust his sword, paralyzing Lucifer. Unable to move, Lucifer realized the betrayal. As Lucifer's consciousness faded, he reopened his eyes only to find himself plummeting through unfamiliar surroundings. Confusion and pain washed over him as he shouted in dismay. Gradually, his descent slowed, and he landed unceremoniously in a trash bin. Disoriented, he emerged from the bin, clutching his throbbing head. Surveying his unfamiliar surroundings with uncertainty, suddenly he heard someone asking what they were doing, making him confused. Then he heard footsteps running toward him. The girl looked back, realizing that the place she ran to was a dead end and she couldn't run anymore. The small man laughed, asking her if she didn't have anywhere to run, and the big man told her that they weren't going to hurt her. The girl asked them what they were saying, and if they weren't even human. The two men looked at each other confused but changed to their true identity. She was surprised to see it. Suddenly, someone told them to stop right there, making the two monsters surprised. He called the girl Negan and told her to leave it to him because defeating demons is his job, making her confused if it's like an exhibitionist job. The old monsters asked him why the hell he was naked, and the big monster shyly told him to put some clothes on. He just told them that they were blabbering too loud and shouted that they should get ready. Then the three men fought, making painful sounds. Sadly, our protagonist ended up in the trash bin again in pain. He shyly looked at his shaking hand, wondering why he couldn't bring out his power. The two monsters laughed at him, telling him that he was all bark and no bite. The big monster said that now he's been dealt with, and the old monsters asked the girl if they should resume the game. But they ended up being attacked and swallowed whole by two big snakes. The girl said they seemed to have an eye for women, but didn't seem to have eyes for picking fights. Then she looked back, wondering what is with the guy who's currently passed out in the trash bin. He woke up surprised. He slowly sat up and looked around, then saw the girl drinking at the counter. She noticed that he was awake and told him that he slept like a baby. He just asked where he is. She replied that he fought thugs, lost, and then went unconscious. Since he had tried protecting her, she had no choice but to repay him. He said something smells fishy, and she replied it can't be helped, telling him that he's heavier than he looked, and it was difficult to carry him. Then she threw some clothes on him. She walked close to him, then asked him what he was because he was definitely not human. While he was putting on some clothes, she explained that he fell from that height and remained unscathed. He replied that he's one of the archangels of Tsukami, and his name is Lucifer. Then he explained to her what happened to him. She sighed in disbelief, laughing. She told him there was no way he was Lucifer. He told her that she was laughing too much. She laughingly explained that he seemed weak as hell, but he just smiled back and looked at her proudly. Suddenly, she attacked him using her snake, making him angry, and he told her that she was a demon too, but she didn't smell like one. She replied, of course, and introduced herself as Lilith, Satan's right arm. She explained that Satan is currently missing, and she came there to find him. Just before he disappeared, she heard that Satan was fighting someone. He replied that it was him, but she didn't believe him and swung him up and down. She told him that it's been months since Satan went missing, and asked him if he was falling at that time. She grabs his face, making him surprised, and told him that it seems like he was telling the truth about being an angel. The snake grabs him in the head, while Lilith tells him that now that he is back on his feet, he should leave. Then the snake throws him out of the room. He stands up, zipping his clothes, wondering what is wrong with her. Then he notices the people, knowing that he still doesn't have any strength, but he could see demons blended in with humans, and asked what happened to that world. Suddenly, he bumps into someone running, and the man hides behind him, asking for his help. 3 men appeared, telling the running man not to think he can get away scot-free after dirtying Anarchy's jacket and apologizing to him because he'll need to hand the man over. He just smiles, defending the man who's panicking behind him. Later, he defeated the 3 men and was proud of himself because he thinks he's actually strong if the opponent is human. He looked back to tell the man that everything is fine. But he was surprised that the man changed into a demon and attacked him. He angrily realized that it was one of them. It thanked him for help and told him that they were a bit too brawny to use as bait. Then it attacked him using its tentacle, grabbing his hands and pulling him while saying that it's lucky he's an angel because it would like to try angel's flesh and blood himself. He tried to break free, but he realized that he still couldn't win against a demon. Suddenly, something lit up in his chest, making him surprised, but he felt it in a smile, making the demon surprised. He effortlessly broke free from the demon's grasp, severing its tentacles in the process and throwing it away. He crossed his hands with sharp, long power nails and used the beast cross to attack the demon's head. He landed on the ground, and his wings slowly disappeared. The demon released something shiny that flowed in the air toward him and went inside him, making him confused. Then ancient celestial language appeared, and he read, ranked up to 5 and stigma acquisition physical strength, leaving him wondering what the hell it was. The demon slowly stood up and immediately ran away. When he tried to chase it, a car suddenly parked in front of him. The car door opened, and a tall man came out of it. He told him not to just butt in, but the man just said that he thought he was a thug, but recognized him as the Archangel Lucifer. He replied that one after another, they talked like they knew him. Then he asked the man what happened to his body and what the hell was happening. The man replied that he's in luck and introduced himself as Marbas, a wisdom demon. Marbas told him that if he beat him, he'd tell him what was happening. He replied that it was interesting, and that he felt like he is currently invincible. Then he stretched his body, and Marbas threw his cigarettes away. Unbeknownst to them, Lilith was watching them in the distance, wondering what the hell Marbas was doing. Lucifer told Marbas that he had heard about him, then he showed his power. Marbas touched his face while replying that it makes him so happy, then activated his power. He jumped to kick Lucifer, saying since he got his power back, it was his win. But Marbas just blocked his attack and told him that he has got excellent strength, technique, and strategy, which he has used to slaughter countless demons. Marbas made his nails long and sharp, then attacked Lucifer with them. But Marbas avoided it once again and tripped him to fall. While falling, Lucifer attacked him using his cross attack, but Marbas just smiled, avoiding it. When he tried to punch him, Marbas tapped his arm and stomach at the same time, telling him that he lacks speed. Then he tripped him and slammed him on the ground easily. But Lucifer smiled and told Marbas that he had been focusing too much on him. Marbas was shocked when he felt something falling on top of him, and it fell on him while Lucifer was trying to stand up. But he was surprised to see Marbas unscathed and worrying about his car. He asked him how the hell did he avoid it, and Marbas replied, "To Monakai," then explained that his eye can see a few seconds into the future and see every possibility, so his attack won't hit. Suddenly, Marbas activated his Yohane's weapon named Agdos and asked Lucifer how about that one, making him surprised. Marbas replied that he's not sure about it. Marbas activated his demonic eye and saw arrows flying toward him. He avoided every attack using his power, but he didn't see Lucifer jumping toward him and getting punched in the face, making him throw away and land on the ground hard. Lucifer told him that it doesn't really matter if his body can't keep up. Marbas said it hurt and it's nice to be young. Then he slowly changed to his original form and used Transcendemia Lion, asking him if he wouldn't look cool if he tore his clothes as well. Marbas immediately attacked him using his lion claw. He tried to block it, but ended up thrown in the air and once again landed on the trash bin. Marbas asked him,